Hi everybody! Today we're going to be looking at my collection of Colouring Heaven magazines, and this came about because the other week I did have a thorough sort through them myself, marked up all my whips and all my finished pages so I could clearly see where they were, and I thought, hey, why not make a video about it, and then it might motivate me to work on the whips and get them done and dusted. I thought I'd start by showing the pages that I'd completed, the magazines with completed pages in them, but first this one, because this is the first magazine, Colouring Heaven magazine, that I ever bought. The Strangeling Special by Jasmine Beckett Griffiths, who is one of my favourite artists, illustrators. And this one I bought while I was on holiday visiting my parents up in North Wales. And there we go, the very start of my colouring journey and the very start of my Colouring Heaven journey. This is the first picture I pretty much ever coloured in a Colouring Heaven magazine anyways, and this is super tips, I think, mainly with a gel pen, and that's about all I had with me at the time, but I really enjoyed colouring that in, and I would love to colour it again, to be honest, and see what I could make of it now with all my experience and all my materials going on. But yeah, that is the first one I ever coloured there. And moving on, because back in those days I thought you had to start at the beginning of a colouring book, colour each page in order and work your way through, but no, you don't have to do that obviously, but here I was working through. And this one also mainly super tips and a gel pen, but for the background, this is when my partner kind of enabled my colouring journey, I think, right from the start by buying me a 120 set of Zennicolor pencils. Dinacolor, Zennicolor, a big set of pencils anyway. So I had a lot more choices, a lot more freedom with my colours there, and this is what I came up for the background. So that's immediately looking a lot better, I think, without the streakiness I had going on here. Although the shading is there for a little bit. So yeah, that's moving on. And this one, completely with the Zennicolor pencils, and I really enjoyed this one. I totally enjoyed it. Not much really else used there, just the pencils. So a pretty limited palette there. I tried to make a bit of an iridescent effect here on the fish's fins, which I'm not sure it really looks iridescent, but it fits in with the picture quite well, I think. And yeah, that's one of my favourites because it's one of the first and I really enjoyed it. And here we are on this one again. The Zennicolor pencils, and I actually started dating my pictures around this time, so that's 2nd of August 2019, and again the Zennicolor pencils, but for this one I think there's a bit of a glitter glue going on her mask there. I don't know if there we go, you can see it on camera, a bit of glitter glue on her mask just for a bit of fancy effect there. The rest of it is Zennicolor pencils, white gel pen. Not a bad effort, I have to say, for a very beginner at this point in time. Next was this page, and I'm really not much of a Disney girl at all, so I changed the picture and made it my own. Snow White animals became zombies, and Snow White herself is a zombie there, and that was super fun to change her that way, make her all muddy and dirty, zombified. And Alice over here is a punk rocker with safety pins added, tattoos going on, an earring there because it's not often you actually see Jasmine's girl's ears, so I made the most of that and added the earring there. Rips in her tights. That was super fun to do. So yeah, I might try and do that one again in her actual colouring book and make them how they're supposed to be, but who knows, maybe I'll recreate this one with my own little versions going on. And this one, again, I think Zennicolor pencils, some white gel pen, there's some silver gel pen there as well, might be a bit of glitter glue. Yeah, just normal glitter glue, not the stickles type that I use these days. I'm not sure if I can make that sparkle. Maybe a little bit on the octopus there. Yeah, and that one's obviously based on the film Avatar. Yeah, that took quite a while actually. It took me a while to figure out how to do these highlights in her eyes. I'm not sure it portrays exactly what I wanted, but yeah, it's a pretty cool effect, I think. And yeah, another one I was pretty proud of, that one. And this one was a bit of a struggle. Yeah, I think you can tell I did struggle with that one a little bit. I was still learning back at the time, and her skin I'm pretty proud of, because that was when I first bought the Derwent Coloursoft skin tone set and tried that out. Tried to give her a bit of a darker kind of Indian Asian looking skin, and yeah, for her first attempt, yeah, not bad, I don't think. And I do like the way the sky turned out. The fur on the tiger is not the best, but hey, it's all part of the learning process, and yeah, she was fun. And this is where I realised that I could skip pages and go on and do exactly what I wanted. I do have a whip in here. It's this one, which I've started trying to give her a darker skin tone there going on, but she's fallen by the wayside. And I do have another completed page in here, which is this one. And here we can see, yeah, I'm really improving now and knowing what I'm doing a bit more. I think she's... No, she doesn't have a marker base, surprisingly. She's with my usual Castle Arts Arteza pencils. The background is acrylic and gouache, I think. Paints. Not even much sparkle on her. But I do like the way her backgrounds come out. I do like my kind of grungy looking backgrounds. You can see that, and some gold splatter here, gold acrylic down the bottom. Lots of white gel pen highlights, which is kind of a thing I like to do a lot. And little sparkles around her wings there to show a bit of fairy magic, fairy dust floating around. So yeah, I was really quite proud of that one when I did it. When was that? 2020. So yeah, that was a Staging Special, Jasmine Beckett Griffiths. And now I'm going to move on to the issues that I have finished pages in, but no whips, to try and make a bit of sense, a bit of an order going on. And this one is Nouveau Fairies Special by Herb Leonard, and I do like Herb Leonard's designs, these kind of Art Nouveau looking pages there. There are some really nice pictures in here, but there's just so many pictures and not enough time to get around to them all. But hey, this is the one that I finished in this issue. This little Tudor fairy, hey? And she was for a challenge on Friends of Colouring Heaven Facebook group, where the only colours you were allowed to use was one colour beginning with each letter of your name. So my name is Elaine, which meant I had 5 colours there to use, and I've written them down, being extremely organised. I used emerald green from Arteza, lavender from Arteza, amethyst from Arteza, ivory from Arteza, Naples yellow from Castle Arts, and earth red from Arteza. So there we go, just the 5 colours for that one. Oh, and we were allowed to use a skin tone marker, so I based her with a skin tone marker there and just worked on top with the 5 colours that we were actually allowed to use. And yeah, she turned out quite well, I think, considering the very limited palette that we had going on. So that is Nouveau Fairies Special by Herb Leonard. Next up, we have Sorcerers and Sorceresses Special by Nulike Schumacher. I think that's how you pronounce that. And this is another lovely issue full of people, which I really love to colour. Give you a bit of a flavour of what's in here. Some lovely designs in there. And the one that I finished is... oh, where is she? There she is. And this was the picture that I coloured when I first got my set of Arteza watercolour pencils. I was just trying them out on here. I wrote down a few of my colour combinations for this, I think. The colour palette itself was inspired when I saw a picture on Google of crystals that were like this. I'm not sure if they were actual real crystals or just, you know, computer generated or something, but I really liked them anyway, and I based this whole picture off like the blue and yellow colour scheme, and I think that worked quite well. There's white gel pen going on there. I think this background was watercolour. A bit of a night sky with gold. Not sure if that's gouache paint or a gold gel pen, but yeah, some gold highlights there, white gel pen highlights. Yeah, I think I've tried to make a bit of an opal effect going on with that ring there. And yeah, that's the one I've coloured in there. That is Sorceress and Sorceress Special by Nella K. Shoemaker. And next we have Dragons in Nature Special by Anastasia L.A. Cordova, and this one is gorgeous, and to be honest it kind of intimidates me a lot. I have actually coloured one in this, which was for a challenge, a Seek and Find challenge, and I think this one was to colour a picture involving candy or sweets for a kind of treasure hunt challenge, and this is the picture that I drew. He's using my usual pencils with this gel pen, some glitter, and I think the dragon himself is with an Albert Dürer watercolour pencil, because I do have a very small, like 12 pencil set of those, and it seemed to fit in with making this kind of gingerbread dragon with all his candy there. This background I drew in the circles. I think, but probably drawing around something like masking tape or something like that. I drew in the circles, filled it in with brown gouache paint, and I went around the edge with some, I think that's probably Dovecraft glitter glue there, just around the edge, and he really, yeah, he turned out really well, very sparkly and candy colours going on. But this one, oh yeah, the pictures are so gorgeous. I really would not want to mess any of these up, so it's one of the few that really does intimidate me, I think, this one. That is Dragons in Nature by Anastasia L.A. Cordova. Next we have the Costume Special, and the only picture I've coloured for this one is the front cover. I've actually covered it with a plastic wallet and stuck that down to try and keep it a bit clean and stop it rubbing off and stuff, because it's the front cover, it's going to get a bit of wear and tear, especially with me being not the neatest colorist. But yeah, there we go. That's mainly Arteza pencils, I think, there, just for the front cover. Hopefully it's not glaring too much there. Yeah, I tried to get a bit of a variety of skin tones going on there. And really pale for old Queen Elizabeth there, no jewels. Yeah, that was quite fun to colour. This one is by Fabiana Tre, showing costumes either from through the ages or from different countries and cultures. So yeah, it's another gorgeous book that I really need to get around to colouring. Look at him, he's fun. But yeah, I really need to get around to colouring this one. Lovely. There we go. Costume Collection by Fabiana Tre. Okay, next, Gods and Goddesses Special by Jashley. I love Jashley. His work is incredible. And I do have a couple finished in this one, I think, just to give you a bit of an idea of the pictures. These are, I think, mainly Greek or Norse gods and goddesses. Mainly Greek, I think. But yeah, beautiful pictures. Really quite detailed in some places. There we go. Beautiful. And the ones I finished is this one. And she is Aphrodite, goddess of love. And I think I coloured her last year, 24th of 12th, 21. And she's done with super tips, but using them as watercolour. And what that is you get like a clean, non-porous surface. Like you can use a palette, like a plastic palette or something like that. But what I use is a plate, a clean white ceramic plate, glazed, and you scribble with it pens on the plate, and then you can dampen a brush, lift up the colour, and use it as watercolour. And I think most of this is super tips. And this dark pink in the background is actually a water base marker from B&M, I think that one is. Yeah, and I just tried to make a flat, just pink background, and it wasn't working at all. So I let it dry a little bit and then dripped water on, and it spread out and made all these really nice kind of splodgy effects there, and I really liked it. So yeah, that is Aphrodite, and the other one I've coloured, my favourite god, Dionysus, the god of wine. There he is. And this one was a colour palette challenge, also for Friends of Colouring Heaven. And I think there's 4 or 5 colours we were allowed to use, just 4 or 5 pencils we were allowed to use, plus a skin tone. His skin tone there is marker based, and then just worked on top with the pencils. There's also white gel pen, and I can't remember if I put glitter on there. No glitter, just the white gel pen, I think. And we were only really supposed to use the pencils, so I suppose that is cheating a little bit, but yeah, he did turn out quite well. And there we go, Gods and Goddesses Special by Jashley. Next is another by Herb Leonard. I do have a couple done in this one. Nouveau Fantasy Special by Herb Leonard. Some more of his fantasy kind of themed designs. The fancy intricate borders, dragons, mythological creatures, and towards the back, characters from the King Arthur legends, which I think one of those is what I coloured. Yeah, this is Merlin from the King Arthur legends. And for him, I was trying to create an effect of blue glowing from this crystal ball he's got here. And the rest of it is in graphite drawing pencils. This is Castle Arts. I recognise my gold combo there. Castle Arts pencils and graphite drawing pencils with maybe a bit of white gel pen. Yeah, definitely on the borders there, a bit of white gel pen. But yeah, that was super fun trying to experiment making that light look as if it's glowing. I need to work on it a little bit more, I think, but yeah, I'm getting the effect. I mean, not on the picture. The picture is done. But yeah, and the other one I did is this one. And this one I did actually change a little bit, as you can probably tell. This one is called Bard of the Greenwood, and I think that's what it actually said here, Bard of the Greenwood. But this was back during the time when The Witcher was out on Netflix, and yeah, I adapted my bard to be Jaskier, and he's singing Toss a Coin to Your Witcher. He's, I think, mainly Castle Arts pencils. Yeah, maybe a bit of Arteza. This is an Arteza green down here. This around the edge is gold gouache paint with a bit of pencil shading, white gel pen. So yeah, there's my Jaskier singing away in the forest, and super fun, that one. Nouveau Fantasy Special by Herb Leonard. Next we have Fairies Compendium. Best Fairy Designs from Colouring Heaven. This one shows a variety of artists. I'll give you a quick flip through. These are the back, Yana Prosperina from the Fairies Special. And this is the one I coloured. And this one was coloured with Crayola pencils. Yep, pretty much that's all. Crayola pencils, maybe a bit of white gel pen. On the background is watercolour. Again, maybe a bit of white gel pen. Oh, there's a bit of gold gel pen there as well. But yeah, very mainly Crayola colour pencils, because I wanted to try them out, see if they worked on this paper, and yep, I think they work pretty well. Lots of other artists, Christine Karen, Micah Jelena, Meredith Tillman. These are gorgeous. Adele Lorien. Lots of artists there. Lindsay Archer at the beginning. There we are, the Fairy Designs, Fairy Compendium, various artists in that one. Next is another one by Jashley. I really do like Jashley, and I have quite a few coloured in this one. This is the Chibi Collection by Jashley, and I really love this one. It's the first one that I coloured. This is the Angel Chibi, and this one was coloured using the Astra Pastelo pencils with my little crystal stick-on crystals there, lots of glitter glue, gold gel pen, and a bit of a bouquet background I did there. I think that was with chalk pastel, and I just erased some circles there. So yeah, that's the first one I coloured. We also have, this was a super quick one because I had like an hour or so in the day to try and do this. This was for a rainbow challenge with Friends of Colouring Heaven. Super quick little sketch there, that one. All alcohol marker with a little bit of pencil shading on top, I think. Yeah, from the gas, the gas bubbles there going on. Yep, she's super fun. This is another one that I did. And this little ninja girly, she reminded me so much of Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy, so that's who I tried to turn her into. I did this as a collage, a silver card, I think. Yeah, there it is, a silver card I stuck in there for the pillar, made it look a bit kind of mechanical. She's got markers, yeah, mostly marker background. Looks like this could be black acrylic or gouache. Sky going on there. I drew in the spaceship, the Milano from the Guardians of the Galaxy film. I drew that on a separate piece of paper, cut it out, coloured it in and stuck it on there to give a bit of a theme going. And yeah, that's super fun. I love changing the pictures and making them into something that means more to me, so that's what I did with this one, and so I've done with quite a few in here actually. Alright, this is the next one I did. This is Poseidon, and this was also a challenge for Friends of Colouring Heaven. And for this challenge you could only use 3 colours, red, blue and yellow, I think. So for this one I used just 3 pencils, red, blue and yellow. And we were allowed to use a flesh tone as well, skin tone, so it's got a skin tone marker base for his face there, and then after that just red, blue and yellow. Kind of actually did a little bit overlaying them and making green there, but yeah, I love doing challenges like that where you're really restricted. It really does help sometimes. Yep, this is the next one, the Chibi Samurai, and this one I also changed to resemble a character, a role-playing character I was playing at the time, because I'm a big player of a tabletop RPG, and we were playing Legends of Five Rings at the time, and this is the character I was playing, who was a girl. So obviously to make her a girl I added lipstick and I added in her horse because her house is big on horses, so I put in her horse there in the background and the symbol of her house there at the background. And she, yep, markers for the background, working on top with the pencils, white gel pen. There we go. I think the horse is, yeah, he's drawn on separate paper, coloured in, cut out, stuck down. That is actually drawn onto the, is that drawn onto the, I think it might be. I just added that in there. I might have added this scroll as well, just to tie it all together. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember what the original looked like, but yeah, that's my Pim, my character from Five Rings. This is my Valkyrie chibi. There we go. I don't think there's anything special about her. There's yep, markers with the pencil on top. Crystals for her, the jewellery is in there. Jewellery, and on her sword there's crystals going on. Yeah, mainly just the oh, and gold Sharpie there I used as well. A bit of a metallic touch there. Actually super cool. And lastly, this is another of my roleplay characters. This is a werewolf, silver fang werewolf for anyone who plays, which is why she's white, and she has the blue hair. And I added in this shape, kind of a scratchy shape for the background, painted in the sky. That wasn't there, and these scratch marks I added in as well and painted. I think I changed her t-shirt and drew this skull on it because it fitted my character better. But yeah, that's my werewolf chibi, and the last one I have finished in this Chibi Collection by Jashly. This next one is Chibi Christmas Special, showing a variety of artists from Marielle Budak, Jen Katz, Hannah Lynn, Ruth Sanderson, Rosary Sawanamama, and Glass Art. If I've mispronounced any of those, I do apologise. I'm not the best at pronouncing names. The ones I coloured in here, I did do this advent calendar. I tried to be colouring 1 square a day, keeping it really simple with just the markers, a little bit of pencil, I think, glitter glue, gold and silver gel pens. But yeah, I tried to keep that one really simple because Christmas time is usually really busy, and I did try to colour 1 a day. I think there was a couple of times I had to cheat and do 2 or 3 altogether because I'd missed a few days, but yeah, that's just how it goes, isn't it? And the other one I've done in here, this one is by Jen Katz. Oh, the calendar was by Rosary Sawanamama. This one by Jen Katz, and this was for another part of the Search and Find challenge that I was doing at the time. I believe this one was for vegetables. Yeah, so I used the carrots as being my vegetables. Yeah, there we go. It's not sure if I used marker on this one. No marker, just straight pencil on this one. Castle Arts and Artesa as usual. The background is acrylic paint. I think white gel pen stars with white pencil round to give a bit of a shine effect there. I'm not sure if there's anything else on that one. Oh, a bit of glitter glue on the snow. Can you see that sparkling there? There we go. Yep, that was my Christmas one with vegetables from Cutesy Christmas Special. A variety of artists. And next we have Fantasy Figure Special from Maud Lemoyne. I've done a couple in here. Her designs are really gorgeous. A little bit grayscale though, and I'm not a big grayscale colorist, but yeah, I have done a couple by her, and yeah, I really do end up liking them. There's a few just to give an idea of what's in there. And the ones I've coloured in here, the first page, I think this is with Tesco Go Create pencils, really cheap supermarket kids colouring pencils. Oh, I've got them here actually. There we go. Those Tesco Go Create colouring pencils, just a small set of 12. Sometimes that's all you need, you just sit down, small set of pencils, get yourself colouring in front of the TV. And yep, so with the Tesco pencils, there's gold gel pen and some stick-on crystals there for her belt, stick-on pearls rather. There is glitter on her wings, try and give a sparkly fairy effect. So that's the first one I have coloured, and the second one, oh yeah, this one was Valentine's Day, I think. Trying to get in some lovey-dovey themed pictures for Valentine's Day. And this one is usual. Moving on to my more recent pictures, where marker background, Castle Arts Artesa pencils. There's might be gold gel pen, some stick-on crystals for her earrings there, and there's glitter on her wings. There we go. For this one, I was stuck on the colour to do his tattoo, and my partner suggested doing blue. And at first, when I did the marker base, he was like, "Oh my god, I've given you the wrong advice. That looks terrible." I was like, "No, that's going to work," and it did. Once I coloured the skin over the top and worked on it a bit more, yep, it really does work. And I have tried to give him some manly, hairy arms there. I'm not sure if it's visible, but yeah, some manly, hairy arms he's got going on. White gel pen as well, as usual. But yeah, there we go. That is by Maud Lemoyne, Fantasy Figures Special. Next we have the Steampunk Special. Designs by Matt and Dawn Davidson, and unfortunately the only picture I have coloured is the front cover. I did use a bit of marker, the brown marker on there, a bit of a base and a creamy colour there it looks like. The rest of it is Crayola colour pencils with some golden gel pen and some white gel pen. Trying to keep quite a limited palette going on with just a few pops of the red there. And I think that works quite well. Looks really steampunky, but this one, yeah, I really need to work on a bit more, but I'll probably say that about most of them, if not all of them. Matt Davidson's designs at the back, more grayscale-y, really detailed, super cool. There is one that I really want to colour, which is an archaeologist, pardon me. Oh, I think she is super funky, and I probably can't find her now. No, there she is. I really want to colour this one. Yeah, I really like that one. And here Dawn Davidson at the front. Yeah, not quite as grayscaled for these ones. Not as much going on, but still super cool. I love this one as well. There we go, Steampunk Special, Dawn and Matt Davidson. Next we have Starry Night Special by Wei Shan Ong. I've only done one in this one. I'm a bit unsure how to approach them, I think is the problem. I'm not used to having the big areas of black going on. But this is the one that I've done. And I decided on this rainbow theme because there is 7 chameleons there and going on, and so we also have a rainbow because I wanted the chameleons to be the main colour. The frame is a gold gel pen with a little bit of white, a bit of pencil shading. Yep, she is just usual markers with the pencil on top. There we go. Did I? No. Oh, I have a couple of crystal pearls stuck on for her earrings there, but otherwise it's... Oh, and her headdress. I'd forgotten about those. Yeah, that's the only one I've coloured, but yeah, these pretty detailed. A lot going on, and some of them have really a lot of black, which I'm not quite sure how to deal with, so that's probably the reason I haven't worked in this one. That does not mean that the designs are any less gorgeous. It's just working out how to colour them, I think, for me. But yeah, Starry Night Special by Wei Shan Ong. Okay, next we have Fairytopia Special by Mystic Art Mirrors. It's just known as Kristen Glorious Ink, I think, also on Etsy. But anyway, straight away you can see the first one that I coloured, and this one again is with the Tesco coloured pencils. Just sitting watching TV, and she was quite an interesting one to try and do. Some nice effects and stuff just with a limited section of pencils. She has got some pearl crystals stuck on there. And the background, I've been working on a technique for an old book that I have, a vintage book where the paper is not very good at all, and I want to use watercolour in it, but obviously I can't because the paper probably wouldn't stand it. So I've been trying to work out how to do watercolour effects with coloured pencils. And there is another one in this book where I've done the same thing, but yeah, this is something I've been working on, trying to get looking right, making watercolour with the coloured pencils. There we go, also with the drip effects down from her arms there, because I didn't know how to finish off this body. There is no like lines to finish off her body, so I did the watercolour drippy effect, and I think it works. Yeah, she was really fun to do. I also have this one where I've made her, again, the background I've tried to make it look watercolour, but it is all coloured pencils to stop the paper getting crinkly or wrecked, or trying to figure out if it can stand watercolour. She's also got gold gel pen there going on, white gel pen, which is now turned pink, unfortunately, but that's a problem when you draw on top of these pinky purpley colours. It does turn pink. But yeah, that's my Galaxy girl. She has white gel pen, gold gel pen, and that's about it, I think. And I honestly can't remember what pencils I used for her. But no, I don't think they were Castle Arts. But anyway, yeah, there she is. That's all that I've done in there. This is my next girl. And there we are. This one is my usual colour pencils. Yeah, definitely, I recognise that green. And for this one, I tried to make the mushrooms look like they're glowing. So at the top of the picture, really light, going down to the bottom where it's all in shadow and dark. And I love this little the jackalope. Yeah, it has no wings, it's a jackalope. She has gold gel pen there for a few little highlights, white gel pen for her hair. And yeah, she turned out really well, I thought. And the last one, here we are, here she is. This is another one I did with my Tesco pencils. This is showing a little bit better the effect I'm trying to get with watercolour, looking like watercolour but with pencils. And in this one I tried to colour her skin like Christine Karen does when she colours her own art, and she uses these unnatural, unusual colours for her skin, and I tried to do that for this little fairy here, and yep, that was fun. Again, not sure entirely how well it worked, but it was super fun to do. Gold gel pen highlights, and Tesco pencils, and that's all I've completed in this one. This one, the only magazine I've actually bought 2 copies of. The only one I've actually bought 2 copies of, that one, because I really like the pictures in that one. Next, we have another collection issue. This is the Australia collection, which was sold to raise money after the Australian bushfires. And there's tons of artists in this one, loads of pictures to highlight the effects of the Australian bushfires going on. And the one I have coloured in here is by Nelke Schumacher, I think. Yep, and there she is. Nelke Schumacher, yellow butterfly, but mine are orange. And yeah, this one was done using the Art Studio pencils from W.H. Smith's. Have I got those handy? Yes, I do. There we go. These Art Studio 24 colour pencils from W.H. Smith's. There we go, that's set there. So that was quite interesting to try and make something nice go on with those pencils. And this background is quite funny. I drew a line for a frame with a marker, which I thought was an alcohol marker, but when I painted this background of the frame in with acrylic paint, it was slightly too watery, and I realised this marker is not alcohol marker, is not waterproof, and it bled all around the edge. So as you do, you try and fix your mistakes, and I used it to my advantage and tried to make the background look kind of old and distressed, old paper going on, splashed it with watercolour, and yeah, I made it look a bit my usual kind of grungy background, which I like, and yeah, it worked quite well. And it's kind of fortunate really, because I really didn't have any idea what to do with that background at all, and that helped me make a decision and finalise it, and there we go, it works. But actually really fun. I do like Nelke Schumacher, her designs are awesome. She does have a few more in here as well, which I'm going to have to get around to doing, but yeah, loads. Yep, Kinoko Agusa, Jennifer Zimmerman, George Ashley, another of my faves. And there we go, that's the Australia collection. Next, Timeless Beauties, and this one intimidates the heck out of me. It really does. I have done one picture in it, but these pictures are so gorgeous. it scares me thinking about doing anything in here and messing it up. I do scan them in before I start colouring, but messing up the magazine would just be a bad thing, I think. I do have one done, the very first one, and this is Arteza pencils, I think. When did I do that? 2020, so it was a while ago. Maybe I should pluck up the courage and see what else I can do with these pictures, gorgeous pictures. It's a shame just to leave the magazine in the cupboard when it's so gorgeous, but yeah, there we go. I forgot to say that one is Timeless Beauty Special by Momo Girl. Okay, next we have Gothic Alchemy Special, and this one is very heavily grayscaled, and for me that was a real challenge because I really don't colour grayscale pictures all that much at all. I have had a go, not sure they're entirely successful, but yeah, I have had a go. You can see I was practicing here on the front cover at the start. But yeah, these pictures are beautiful but really heavily grayscaled, and I have no idea how to go about them most of the time. I have tried. You can see that that's my first try. I think this one I used, what did I use for those? Kid of Arteza, I think. Trying to work with the grayscale, which is not the easiest to do. For the background I put a bit of my grungy gold splatter on there, which seemed to help. This next one, another one with, I have no idea which pencils I used, I didn't write it down. Gold gel pen, gold splatters, a more gothic grungy look, a white gel pen for a bit of highlights on that one, I think. This one, what pencils? There's glitter glue on her dress, there we go. Glitter glue on her dress. I think these I tried to do chalk pastel to make a kind of misty effect along the bottom. There's a crystal finger, white gel pen on her wings there. I do like the sky, I will say that. A struggle though, for me, a struggle. And this is the last one that I tried to do. It's, turquoise and gold wings was inspired by some washi tape that I have. I just brought in the purple to kind of tone in with it. But yeah, I am really unsure of what I'm doing with these. We'll probably work on it some more at some point in the future, but yeah, there we go. Okay, next we have Dreamtime Special, Hannah Carlson. I've done quite a few in this one. Okay, there we go. Jumping right in with this first one that I've done. And I really went to town on my stick-on crystals on this one because she's the first picture in the magazine. So yeah, I really went for it there. And for her, if I remember right, did I use the bigger set of Tesco pencils, which is these ones? Again, a cheap supermarket kind of brand, but yeah, it seems to work fine with the paper. I tried to give her skin a greenish tint because these flowers, I wasn't sure if they were growing out of her or if they were tattoos or they were just in front of her. So I kind of tried to blend her in with the flowers and be one with the flowers. The background is acrylic paint, and I'm not sure what I did those stars with. No, the background is actually alcohol marker. Look at that, it's alcohol marker. And I'm not, these could be white gel pen that just faded the background there. But yeah, that's just Tesco pencils. Sticky jewels. I did start going in order with this one. I know now that I don't have to, but I just love all these pictures. And this one was when I first got my Arteza Expert pencils. I got a 42 set of Arteza Expert pencils, and I started colouring this, and I couldn't put it down until I finished. I just loved it. So Arteza Expert pencils there, with some stick-on crystals. Yeah, you can see a few there. And the background is chalk pastel with some circles erased out of it, and I chose that colour to be like, is it Tiffany jewellery backgrounds, to be reminiscent of that, with these kind of, not sure if they're actual moths or jewellery, but yeah, it does look really cool. And this one, no marker. The background is watercolour, I know that much. There's gold gel pen, coloured pencil, white gel pen for outlines and all these sparkles in the background. And of course some crystals there. Funny story about this one, this was when I actually remembered that you can't iron your page to flatten it when you have plastic crystals stuck on it. So this is the second lot of crystals because I melted the first lot. They are pink, and I think there's a yellow one there. Pink and yellow. Never shows up when I try to scan it in, always are green. But yeah, they are pink. I know. Next one, this is also our teaser pencils. Some stick-on crystals, pearl crystals. The background I did with a brown watercolour and then dabbed with a tissue, I think, to like soak up some of the colour and give this kind of mottled effect in the background. And I think I might have drawn in these leaves over the top and gone over those with gold gel pen. Yeah, I think it was just the girl on her own at first. Yeah, I tried to make her look like a bit of an older lady, with the white streaks in her hair and a few lines, a few kind of lines around her eyes. There we go, the crow's feet going on. So yeah, I tried to make her look like an older lady. And the next one I did in order is this one. Just a quick messing about one. Pencils, glitter glue, gold gel pen, bit of crystal stuck there. The background is black ink, yeah, black kind of Indian ink, that I dripped some water on to try and give a bit of a spacey effect going on. The stars are white gel pen, and I think I like put them where there were spots of the water, where the water had soaked in, and thinned the colour down. So yeah, that's not one of my most successful ones, but it was fun, and that's the main point. Next, oh, here we go. This is the Witch's Brew page, and for this one, it was a very limited palette. It was another challenge where you could only use, not sure if it was 4 colours. It seemed to be 4 colours, yeah, and I thought that one fitted with the colour choice. The colour choice was given as these. I picked the pencils that closely matched it the best I could. Used them to the best advantage, made a bit of a marble effect there. Cheated a tiny bit by putting glitter glue on my crystals in the corner there. And there's white gel pen, but yeah, that's, like I said, I do love the limited palette challenges. It does stretch you, make you think outside the box. Next, there we go. This is the Raven Queen, I called her. And originally I did this for a challenge where you were to draw in your own background for a picture. And this is the background I drew. Originally it was the Queen herself with the frame. I added in the castle and these ravens and the vines here because she reminded me of Maleficent from the Disney movie. So I went with that kind of evil queen vibe. Used kind of green and purple. Yeah, this gouache paint, I think, for the no marker. No marker. Gouache paint. I know this is watercolor. Black gouache paint. I think, yeah, that can be paint as well up there. This is paint. The rest of her is as gold Sharpie. Pencils, white gel pen, some gold splatter. I think this is when I was first starting to get into it, but yeah, added in the background and stars, space effect, all that kind of stuff. Next one. Oh, here we go. This is another one from the challenge to put in your own background, because originally this page was just a fish and maybe a few of these little bubbles. A few, and I drew in the frame, drew in this, tried to follow Hannah Carlson's style, drew in this kind of bottom of the sea here, and tried to limit my palette with like the sea being this kind of aqua blue, which is gouache paint, like thinned down, I think. Silver gel pen. There's white gel pen on here. I think I used a few of my Xena colour pencils for him as well as my usual ones. And yeah, threw in a few crystals because Hannah does love her crystals. And yeah, I think I captured the essence of Hannah Carlson there, but yeah, that was my attempt with the fish. And the last one, there we go. This one was for a challenge for Friends of Colouring Heaven website again, and the challenge was to use just the colours grey and purple, because you may or may not know, Hannah Carlson herself was diagnosed with having a brain tumour, and these are the colours for the cancer charities. So yeah, I used graphite drawing pencils for the background there, a bit white gel pen. I think these are the Xena colour pencils. She does have some stick-on crystals. Yeah, white gel pen. So yeah, there we go. Next we have Mermaid Special by Anastasia Ellie Cordova. I've only done one in this one. It is another one where the pictures are a bit too nice to even try and mess up, and that is the trouble, because this one, I feel that I did kind of mess it up. There we go. This one was for a challenge where we could only use purple or kind of mauvey colours. She is, yep, she does have marker as a base. And for this background, I marked off a section and used masking tape to make a square in the background. But when I peeled it off, it splurted under the edges there. So I tried to make it look as if it was meant to be like that by adding a few more little kind of blobby bits on the edges and stuff, and adding bubbles. But yeah, in my head, I messed that one up. But you can't win them all anyway, and there she is. My Anna Cordova mermaid. There's a few more in this book there. It is a lovely book, very finely detailed, and I really don't want to mess it up, but there we go. Mermaid Special, Anastasia Ellie Cordova. Next there is Fairies in Nature Special by Jenny Cook, and these are drawn from Jenny from the Colouring Heaven team. Little children fairies, most of them. That one's cute. I've only gotten around to doing one of these, and that's for a challenge where you could just use a black biro. So this one is just with a black biro. Yeah, I did learn quite a bit doing this, because there's a couple of areas where it's actually blue, and that is because I messed up with my biro and I tried to go over it with a white gel pen, and that actually turned the biro blue. So these blue bits, I think there's one down here somewhere where I messed up. But I did learn that you cannot do that, and I learned a few techniques for making leaves and stuff with the black biro. So yeah, that's the only one I have coloured in the Fairies in Nature Special by Jenny Cook. Next there is World of Princesses Special. I do have a couple of finished ones and a whip in this one, but I'm showing because there are finished pictures. So yeah, this is by Fabiana Trere again, and her gorgeous images. This is the first one, and it was not one of my favourite images at first, I will admit that, but then I found this book of scrapbooking paper in my local charity shop, and I thought, yeah, that's going to be her background, so I bought it. And I've made a paper collage for my background. You can't quite see because it's stuck on. Yeah, it's stuck on there, but oh, it's actually coming off, so you can't see. The background, the black, the gold, and this leaf pattern is all paper that I made a background out of, and I cut around my princess once I'd coloured her in, put the paper in the background and stuck it down by this little edge of white paper, which needs resticking apparently. So yeah, this is, I know some of it is Xenicolor pencils, and it might be Castle Arts Artesia as well. I tried to keep her pale with the rouged cheeks and lips, like the Elizabethan style. I tried to make some effects of, I'm not sure what this kind of fabric is called, brocade is it? Brocade fabric going on there, and if I'd done this more recently, I probably would have stuck some crystals on it, but no, back in those days I did not. But there she is. That's my, I think she's called Elizabethan princess or something like that. Here, another gorgeous image there. They are all beautiful. But the next one I have coloured. Bear with me. There we go. The Cayenne princess. She has a bit of a marker base for her hair, you can see. This background is watercolour and a bit of black gouache in the bottom. I think I used watercolour as a base for these flowers and the fabric at least. And the rest of it is, this is Castle Arts most definitely. The skin looks more Artesia. Yeah. And a white gel pen, I would imagine, at least in places. Oh, maybe she doesn't. But yes, she does. Yes, I was going to say I don't really colour any pictures without a white gel pen, but yep, that is my Cayenne princess. I have another finished. This is a very old one, 2nd of September 2019, before I started realising that backgrounds aren't that scary and I can do them. This one is with Xenicolor pencils. The skin, not that great, but I was learning, and this was like my first attempt at doing a really dark skin, considering that not terrible. This is actually using the gold pencil from the Xenicolor set, which I couldn't make look very gold at all, but it's there. And yeah, she's not amazing, but you live, you learn, you advance on your colouring journey, and each step along the way you do learn more. And the last one I have in here is a finished page. No, it is not, it is a whip. This is the Ukrainian princess that I started way back at the beginning of the year, and she's stalled a bit. I think all these details have thrown me on that one, so I need to get back and finish her because there's not much left to do, to be honest. She has got a marker base. I've marker based most of it, and gone in with pencil shading, but she will be finished, I think. I know where all my whips are now. I can work on them. Next, there is Fantasy Princess Special, again by Josh Lee. This is the first one, the Angel Princess. So it was a whip and has only been recently completed. I started her one night watching TV, did all the marker base, and then didn't really know where to go from there, but I worked it out, did what I did, and I drew these circles into the background because I needed some dark background behind these white clouds. Pencil shading, white gel pen, some crystal star-shaped ones for her earrings. Yeah, gold gel pen. These are paper collage where I actually cut out the heart and then I cut out the heart and then stuck it onto the page. Those are not cut out. And this one was actually whipped because I had coloured in that bit of skin there. It was actually blue, which is why she is a dark skin lady, because I had to cover that piece of skin there that was actually blue. But end of the day, it all works out. You can't really notice it, which is always good. There's a few other sample kind of images from here. And here's another one that I completed. This Sweet Princess reminded me heavily about Rainbow Bright, who was a big thing when I was growing up in like the 80s. And this background is inspired again from the 80s by Lisa Frank. Yeah, that was super fun to do, just with watercolour, I think, watercolour and gouache paint. She's coloured with W.H. Smith's pencils and white gel pen. There's a bit of glitter glue on the glass. I'm not sure if I can... Yep, you can see it a little bit on the glass. I'm still not totally sure how to colour glass, but that was my attempt. And I have another that I have finished in here, which is this one, this Art Princess. This one here was another part of the Search and Find challenge I was doing, which involved art supplies. So this was the first image that I thought of, and I actually drew in these bricks for the background. I drew those in and coloured them with, I think she was another W.H. Smith pencils I used for her, and white gel pen. I added in a few lines on here to make these, I think they're supposed to be paint swooshes, but I made them look like wings, so she's more of an angel. That's why she has the white kind of blue shading thing going on there. And yeah, tried to make it look like a graffiti, kind of a street art style, and I think it fitted really well. I drew in this black outline as well to give it that graffiti look. White gel pen outlines there. So yeah, that is from Fairies Princess Special by Jashley. And looking at the timer, we are over an hour already, so I'm going to leave it there for now, and we'll have to catch up again next time. Bye.